Hi everyone, if you're preparing for the BCIN General Legal Process exam, this video is for you. Today, we're breaking down every section of the syllabus related to the Building Code Act and the Building Code itself. We'll go step by step through the topics you need to know to pass, and I'll simplify complex terms and requirements along the way. Ready? Let's jump in. Building Code Act Overview. The Building Code Act is the legal framework that guides all building practices in Ontario. It sets up rules to ensure buildings are constructed, inspected, and maintained safely. We'll start by breaking down the Act into its main sections. I'll explain each area, so you'll know exactly what to study. Our first topic is interpretation and enforcement authorities. Think of this as the foundation. It covers definitions and the roles of those enforcing the building code, like inspectors and chief building officials. This section helps us understand who does what, and clarifies the main players who ensure buildings meet safety standards. We'll cover their responsibilities and how they interact to keep everything running smoothly. Construction and demolition. This section is all about permits, when you need one, how to apply, and what information must be included. A building permit isn't just a formality, it's a way to ensure that a project meets safety standards before it starts. You'll need to understand who is responsible for issuing permits, what documents are required, and the process for reviewing them. Some specific rules on permit referrals are excluded, so make sure to focus on the general permit system and its purpose. Next up is Unsafe Buildings and Maintenance Inspection Section 15. This section highlights the legal responsibilities for identifying and managing buildings that pose safety risks, like those with structural issues or significant fire hazards. Knowing the standards for regular inspections, especially for older buildings, helps prevent dangerous situations and keeps the public safe. Qualifications Section 15.11 to 15.13. Qualifications are essential to ensure that only certified professionals are involved in building inspections and enforcement. This section specifies the necessary credentials for building officials and registered code agencies. You'll need to know who is qualified to do certain types of work and which professionals meet these standards. This ensures that only trained and certified experts are making key decisions about building safety. Next section is about inspection, enforcement, and dispute resolution. This section explains the rights and responsibilities of inspectors, including their powers to enter a property to assess compliance. It also covers what happens if there's a disagreement, how disputes between building owners and officials are handled. You'll learn the steps for resolving these issues and the processes in place to ensure fairness and compliance with the law. The Authorizations and General Provisions section discusses the director's role in issuing rulings or approvals, especially in unique cases where a building may need a specific variance from the building code. This part is essential for understanding how exceptions are made under special circumstances and how these rulings allow for some flexibility while maintaining safety. Building Code. Specific safety standards. The Building Code provides specific technical standards for building safety. It covers construction requirements for everything from fire safety to plumbing and accessibility. Part A. Compliance, objectives, and functional statements. Here, we learn about the primary goals of the building code, which include safety, health, and accessibility. Think of this as the why behind the rules. These objectives guide all other parts of the code. Part B. Acceptable solutions. Parts 1, 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. The Acceptable Solutions section goes deeper into specific requirements for building materials, structures, and systems. Let's go through the main parts covered on the exam. Part 1. Focus on reference documents that link to standards for materials and practices. Part 3. Covers fire protection, occupant safety, and accessibility. Know the basics on radon and building in flood plains, key for safe and sustainable construction. Part 5. This part is all about environmental separation, including standards that prevent moisture and air leakage. Part 7. Focuses on plumbing definitions, ensuring we're clear on what plumbing terms mean. Part 8. Looks at sewage systems, another critical area for both public and environmental health. Part 9. For housing and small buildings, study general rules and some specifics on fire protection, especially for residential and live workspaces. Parts 10 and 11. Focus on changes to existing buildings, including change of use and renovations, making sure they comply with safety codes. Lastly, Part C. Administrative Provisions. The administrative provisions cover the responsibilities of officials and administrative rules within the building code. This section provides standards on how roles are assigned, the qualifications required, and how different officials interact with the public. Some parts, like fee requirements and certain designations, aren't covered, so focus on the general roles, registration categories, and requirements for public registers. Let's recap the key topics. Building Code Act. Focus on who enforces the code, how permits work, the rules for unsafe buildings, and the qualifications of building officials. Building Code. Key areas include compliance objectives, acceptable solutions for safety standards, and administrative provisions for how officials operate. And that's a complete breakdown of the syllabus for the BCIN General Legal process exam. I hope this helps make your study process smoother and more effective. If you have questions or want more in-depth videos on any topic, drop a comment below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more exam prep tips. Good luck with your studies, and thanks for watching.